Clear thinking is a skill anyone can learn. Richard Feynman treated it like a daily job. You often feel like you are thinking, but many times you are only reacting. Your brain likes easy paths. It likes quick answers and familiar words. This is normal, but it also causes a problem. Feynman cared about one thing more than comfort. He cared about what is true. He did not try to sound smart. He tried to understand, and that is why he kept ideas simple. Cognitive load theory helps explain this. Your mind has limited space. When things feel hard, the mind grabs shortcuts and accepts weak ideas to save effort. Clear thinking is not natural. It must be trained on purpose. A clear mind shows up in clear words. You can repeat a fact and still not understand it. You can memorize steps and still not know why they work. Feynman watched for this mistake in himself and in others. He used a simple test. Try to explain the idea in plain words. If the explanation breaks, the understanding is weak. You begin to notice the difference between knowing and copying. Copying sounds smooth. Knowing sounds simple. Knowing can handle pressure, new examples, and basic explanations without hiding behind terms. Learning science shows this problem often. It is called the illusion of understanding. You feel like you understand because the words sound right, but the meaning is missing. Feynman's rule clears the fog fast. Understanding only counts when it can be explained simply. Words can make confusion look clean. You may use a strong label and feel safe. You may say a term like energy, confidence, or mindset and feel like you said something real. But a label is not the same as an explanation. Feynman warned about this. He said you can know the name of something and still know nothing about it. You begin to see how often people hide behind language. They use big words to cover small understanding. They add extra terms to sound correct. They speak in a serious way, but when you ask what it means, the meaning disappears. In cognitive psychology, this happens because words compress ideas. A short label can stand for a long process. That can be useful, but it can also hide gaps. Feynman avoided jargon when it blocked meaning. Clear thinking starts when words stop hiding confusion. One clean idea is stronger than 10 mixed ideas. When you face a hard topic, your mind tries to hold everything at once, and that makes thinking messy. Feynman did the opposite. He broke problems into small parts and worked on one piece at a time. He did not move on until that piece was clear. You can do the same. Take a big claim and cut it into smaller claims. Take a complex process and name the steps. Separate what causes what. Remove details that do not matter yet. This is close to reductionism in physics. It means you understand the system by understanding its parts and how they connect. It is not about making things small for fun. It is about making them testable and clear. When each part is clear, you can rebuild the full idea with less noise. Small steps produce clear understanding. Clear thinking begins with a hard habit. You admit what you do not know. Many people start with a conclusion and then hunt for support. Feynman started with what was solid. He separated facts from guesses. He respected the line between I know and I think. You begin to see why this matters. If you build on guesses, your whole structure becomes weak. One wrong base can ruin a long chain of thought. That is why clear thinkers label their claims. This part is evidence. This part is an assumption. This part is a rough idea that still needs work. This fits with scientific reasoning. Good science is careful about claims. It does not pretend or act certain without proof. This is sometimes called epistemic humility. It is not weakness. It is accuracy. Clear thinking begins with honest limits. An idea is not strong because it sounds good. It is strong because it matches reality. Feynman treated nature as the final judge. He did not care who said something or how popular it was. He cared whether it worked when tested. You can use this approach in daily thinking. If you believe a method works, look for results. If you think a plan is smart, check what happens when you try it. If you hold a belief about people or systems, look for real examples and outcomes. This is the scientific method in a simple form. You make a claim, test it, and accept the result even when it hurts your pride. A good idea must risk being wrong. If nothing can disprove it, it is not useful. Feynman trusted evidence more than confidence. Clear thinking survives only when it is tested. Reality is the final judge of all thinking. The biggest danger in thinking is not ignorance. It is self-deception. Feynman said, "You must not fool yourself, because you are the easiest person to fool. You want your ideas to be right. You want your effort to matter. You want your beliefs to feel safe. This creates bias. You begin to notice a common pattern. You remember evidence that supports you and forget evidence that does not. You explain away failure and blame the outside. You avoid looking closely at your own mistakes. This is confirmation bias at work. It is normal, but it is costly. Feynman's solution was discipline. He attacked his own ideas first and looked for weak spots before others did. He treated honesty as a tool, not a pose. Clear thinking requires watching your own mind closely. It demands self-control. Fast answers feel good, but they create many errors. Your mind often reacts before it checks. You see a claim and accept it. You hear a story and believe it. You feel a strong yes or no and call it reason. Feynman did not trust this speed. He slowed down, checked steps, and asked what follows from what. Dual process theory helps explain this. One system is fast and automatic. The other is slow and careful. The fast system is useful for quick moves, but it is not reliable for truth. The slow system takes effort, but it produces better logic. You begin to see that clear thinking is often just slower thinking. You pause before you conclude. You rewrite the claim in your own words. You check what evidence supports it and what would disprove it. Speed creates confidence, not accuracy. Slow thinking produces strong thinking. If you want clear thinking, you need a method that forces clarity. Feynman learned by trying to teach, not to impress people, but to reveal gaps. He took an idea and explained it in plain words, as if speaking to a smart beginner. When the explanation became fuzzy, he knew exactly where to work. You can do this alone. Write the idea down. Explain it in short sentences. Avoid special terms unless you define them. Use a simple example. Then notice the point where you start to handle. That point marks the gap. Learning science supports this. Active recall strengthens understanding more than rereading. Teaching like practice forces you to rebuild the idea from meaning, not copied words. Feynman treated explanation as a test. Teaching is thinking made visible. Opinions are easy to collect. Models are harder to build. Feynman did not aim to have strong opinions. He aimed to have clear models. A model is a simple picture of how something works. It links causes to effects and predicts what will happen if you change something. you see the difference quickly. An opinion often stops thought. A model keeps it moving. Models can be tested. Opinions often cannot. Your mind uses internal models to understand the world. When a model is wrong, you repeat the same mistakes. When a model is clear, you can adapt faster. Feynman used models to handle complex topics without getting lost. He kept them simple and tied to evidence. That is why his explanations were so clean. Clear thinking is not a one-time upgrade. It is a daily routine. Feynman did not treat thinking as a mood. He treated it like work. You return to basics. You explain things simply. You mark what you know. You test ideas. You watch for signs. You slow down when it matters. These are small habits, not big moves. A short note can reveal a weak idea. A simple definition can remove a false debate. A quick test can end a long argument. Over time, these small checks build a stronger mind. Repeated practice builds stable skills. The brain changes with use. Clear thinking grows through daily effort.